my friend. Clear voice, clear mind. From coast to the world, we keep it refined. Step by step we rise, with purpose in view. Every word is steady, every promise true. Hear that calm in the room, feel that steady light. We speak with one voice, we stand upright. Voice of Sinoe in the diaspora. Voice of Sinoe in the diaspora. Warm, strong, and sure, we carry it far. Hosted by dark, Diaspora, esoteric. Hosted by dark, Diaspora, esoteric. Open the door, let the message arrive. From a humble beginning to a wider stage, hands built the future, page after page. We honor the roots, we answer the call, with dignity speaking, we rise for all. Hear that calm in the room, feel that steady light. We speak with one voice, we stand upright. Voice of Sinoe in the diaspora. Voice of Sinoe in the diaspora. Warm, strong, and sure, we carry it far. Hosted by dark, Diaspora, esoteric. Hosted by dark, Diaspora, esoteric. Open the door, let the message arrive. Across every border, across every sea, a name, a calling, a legacy. So listen closely, the tone stays gold.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is Voice of Sinoe, a brand new edition of the show. We come to you every Saturday beginning at 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, and 4 GMT. That is Liberia time. We are happy this afternoon, at least this morning from our end. We have the our distinguished guest with us today, the mayor of Moorhead, Minnesota, and she is running for the Minnesota State District number 4A. She wants to be the representative. So we'll call this section from the City Hall to the Capitol building. So, ladies and gentlemen, please share the link for us. And surely our guest will be on stage. You'll have a beautiful, beautiful conversation, what she wants to do for the people of District 4A. So please share the link. We'll be right back.
A trusted voice, bold, clear and bold. Voice of Sinoe in the diaspora. Voice of Sinoe in the diaspora. Warm, strong and sure, we carry it far. Hosted by dark side port esoteric. Hosted by dark side port esoteric. Open the door. Let the message arrive. Good evening, my friend. Clear voice, clear mind. From coast to the world, we keep it refined. Step by step we rise, with purpose in view. Every word is steady, every promise true. Hear that calm in the room, feel that steady light. We speak with one voice, we stand upright. Voice of Sinoe in the diaspora. Voice of Sinoe in the diaspora. Warm, strong, and sure, we carry it far. Hosted by dark side port esoteric. Hosted by dark side port esoteric. Open the door. Let the message arrive.
Audio Jungle.
Hey, hold on there and listen. The biggest online platform is back and we are ready. It's the Voice of Sinoe in the Diaspora, your one-stop for information, debate, and discovery. Join us every Thursday at 12 o'clock p.m. EST, 4 o'clock p.m. GMT, and 12 midnight in the Philippines, where power, progress, and the people take center stage. The program is with your host, Dasaya Pora Esoteric, the mouthpiece of the God, and your brilliant co-host, Shelly Carlson. They are bringing the heat, the truth, and the talk every single week with spotlight, sports, education, politics, and so much more. Listen and listen very well. The program features deep dives and critical analysis from Patrick Bolu and Pickens Jadia. Don't miss out. Catch us live on Facebook and YouTube. Just search Voice of Sinoe in the Diaspora. The program is every Thursday, and you know why? We bring the conversation to you. Voice of Sinoe in the Diaspora, where your voice matters.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Voice of Sinoe in the Diaspora with your host, Dark Side Poet Esoteric, aka Madison Freeman. I am elated this afternoon to be here again with another wonderful, distinguished guest to have another beautiful conversation about the United States, about the state of Minnesota. I mean, I would say the globe at large, because the people that she is currently leading, they are from all over the globe, you know. So she is a leader who has a diverse mind. So I'm happy this afternoon My co-panelists, they are running a little bit late. That's our culture is kind of a little different, but we can't hold the guests backstage for that long. So before I bring the guests on, I think I will bring her on first, and we're going to read a little intro of her, and then we'll give it opportunity to make opening thoughts or give opening remarks, and then we'll shoot up from there. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to bring on first time the mayor of Moorhead, Minnesota, Honorable Shelly Carlson.
Hello.
Hey, Mayor.
Hi,
Hello.
can you hear me okay?
Yes, pretty well.
Wonderful. I think I can turn my volume up a little bit if I can figure this out. Is that better?
Yeah, your audio is perfect, at least on my side.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm very honored and thrilled to be part of this live broadcast, and a shout out to our friends and your family members across the ocean over in Liberia.
Thank you. So before we go in it, because I have a format, I will give you the official time so that you can give us some opening thoughts or remarks, and then we will just go into our discussion for today. So let's see, ladies and gentlemen, again, let me introduce my guests. So our guest today is Honorable Shelly Carlson, the mayor of Moorhead, Minnesota, a candidate for the Minnesota House of Representatives District 4A, a dedicated public servant and community advocate. Mayor Carlson has spent decades working to improve the lives of families through public service, leadership, and advocacy. Throughout her career, she has earned a reputation as a collaborative leader who believes in listening to residents, building partnerships, and finding practical solutions to the challenges facing. Sorry, guys, my audio going in and out here. Challenges facing her community. As mayor of Moorhead, sorry guys, I don't know why the audio goes in and out. Yeah, give me a second here. I don't want to go through that. As mayor of Moorhead, Mayor Carlson has helped advance major downtown redevelopment projects, infrastructure and flood protection initiatives, investments in parks and recreation, and efforts to strengthen economic growth and improve the quality of life for residents. Her campaign for the Minnesota House is built on three guiding pillars: a thriving community, a safe community, and a healthy community. Today, we are honored to welcome Mayor Carlson to discuss a record of leadership, a vision for District 4A, and the priorities she hopes to champion at the Minnesota State Capitol. Mayor, welcome to Voice of Sinoe.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. So at this time, I just want to give you the opportunity, the time to give us some opening thoughts. And so that the people got to know you a little bit, some of the job or the work that you're doing in Moorhead, you have been doing in public service, and they get a little background of you. The floor is yours.
All right. Well, I'll just kind of give you a little background on myself first. I am originally from Western North Dakota, and I came to Moorhead, Minnesota in 1990 to go to college at Moorhead State University, and I have a bachelor's degree in legal studies from Moorhead State, and then a master's degree in public administration, also from Moorhead State. And my professional career has really been around doing domestic violence and sexual assault advocacy in the criminal justice system. So if somebody has been a victim of one of those types of crimes, I would accompany them to court. I would help them fill out paperwork. I would explain their rights, help them write a victim impact statement, things of that nature. And then I also transitioned into a director of crime victim services in a prosecutor's office in Clay County, Minnesota, which is the county that Moorhead is located in. And then I worked with victims of the families of the victims of homicide, child sexual abuse, and felony domestic violence. But the last 10 years, I have been working at a organization that covers the state of Minnesota, focused on elder abuse. So that's what I do in my professional career. And then 8 years ago, I decided to run for the Moorhead City Council. I was beyond thrilled and honored to be elected to represent a portion of the city. I was on city council for 2 years, and then my council members unanimously appointed me to fill out the remainder of Mayor Jonathan Judd's term because he was appointed to a judge. So I was a council member for 2 years, mayor for 2 years, and then I ran for mayor. So this is my 6th year being the mayor of Moorhead, Minnesota. And with a huge, wonderful team of people, I've been able to accomplish a lot in the city of Moorhead. My term ends this year, and there is an open position in the Minnesota House of Representatives representing the city of Moorhead. And I want to take the knowledge and the experience that I have both professionally and as mayor, and bring all of that knowledge, experience, and the relationships that I've built to St. Paul, Minnesota, for the state, and continue to do great things for the city of Moorhead, Minnesota.
Brilliant, brilliant. Thank you. Oh, that's a mouthful there. All
Yep.
right. Yeah. So just to be clear though, how do you want me to call you? Mayor Carlson?
You can just call me Shelly.
Shirley. Oh, Shelly is
just
fine.
Call me Shelly. Yes.
Okay, excellent. All right, all right. I know yeah, culturally is different from where I'm from. If you don't put a title, it becomes a problem.
Yeah, no, you don't need to call me mayor. You can just call me Shelly.
Okay, Shirley. Okay. So, Shirley, let's start from the obvious question, though. I mean, where you are right now is administrative, and I wouldn't say it's not political, but it's less political. Why do you want to actually jump in the political mud to become a representative? It's much more intense. Why?
Yeah. Well, the mayor position, you're right, is nonpartisan. And the state of representatives is a partisan position. So I'm a moderate Democrat, but I still see myself, if I'm fortunate enough to be elected to that role, I still see myself as representing everybody in the city of Moorhead, whether they're a Democrat or a Republican. I still want everybody in our community to be safe and healthy and be able to thrive, living or working in the city of Moorhead. So yes, it is maybe a little bit more partisan, more political, but I feel that I can work with anybody to really affect important change that's positive for my own community. I don't really see myself changing too much if I go to St. Paul versus when I'm the mayor of Moorhead.
Nice. So just to be clear too, though, you say you're a moderate Democrat. What does that mean?
It means, in the Republican Party, you have people that are on the really far right, and then there's more moderate. Same with the Democrats. There are people that are on the far left that are have much more progressive policy views. I might have some progressive values, but they don't always translate, I think, into good policy that works for everybody. So I'm more moderate, maybe a little bit more fiscally conscious than somebody on the far left of my party. And typically moderate Democrats will have the ability to work across party lines a little bit easier than somebody who's on the far left with somebody who's on the far right. I think the majority of people just are kind of right in the middle of political parties and just really want to work together to make sure that really good policy and good changes are passed down in the legislature.
So again, just for clarity, so that a moderate Democrat and a far left Democrat. So what would be an issue that you guys would differ on, like you and I agree on?
I think that I think a lot of the policies that are proposed by far left progressive Democrats tend to have a lot of tax burden. So a lot of things that maybe people can access for free that normally there would be a cost, maybe that would be associated with that. And while I might want things for free for people, I also know that that costs people a lot of money too. And people are really struggling right now with affordability, so that the more that we tax people, if, you know, say they have access to free childcare for everybody, well, that also means that that free childcare has to come from somewhere. Somebody still has to pay for that. And then those taxes get passed on to everybody. And if I have to pay more in taxes to get free childcare, I'm not really getting too much farther ahead.
Okay, excellent, excellent. So,
if that makes sense.
yeah, it does. It's kind of little like words like more taxes. So what is more and what is less? You know, that's it. But let me bring my co-host. He just joined me, one of the partners, as you say. All right. So Perkins, are you hearing me? Perkins. Oh, Shelly, are you hearing me?
I'm hearing you. Yes.
Okay. I don't know what I'm not here. Perkins, are you go and come back? I'm not hearing you. Oh, you're not saying a word.
Either that or he's really quiet.
Yeah, he did not turn his audio on, I think. Yeah, okay. So I got specific questions here for you. Sorry, my audio is just acting up today. So the specific question that I have, like the first question, your campaign is built around the vision of a thriving, safe, and healthy community. Which of these three pillars will receive your immediate attention during your first legislative section, and why?
I don't know that I can just pick one, because I think they're all equally important. And when I first, if I'm going to say when, I'm going to think positive. When I get elected, going down to the legislature, you have an opportunity to put forth a number of different bills and pieces of legislation that would really help to create that safe, healthy, and thriving. So safe community is one. We could look at doing some different things around public safety and helping our law enforcement and our dispatchers, our 911 dispatchers, our fire, our ambulance services, to make sure that people are safe. But then it's also part of being healthy too, because if something is happening, you call 911, you want somebody to answer that 911 call, and you want somebody to respond. And if you need an ambulance, you want it to be there quickly to take you to services. So all of those things are intertwined. Thriving, I think of our schools, I think of our business communities, people who want to start businesses, people who already have businesses, our schools, making sure that we have funding to help with workforce development. So people who are going into new types of professions have the ability to do that. And then healthy is around mental health, and it's around our physical health too, to make sure that we have access to healthcare. So all of those things, I don't think you can extract one from the other. They're all equally important. And so I would be going down there trying to kind of hit the ground running on all of those things.
Nice. Okay. All right. So you propose expanding affordable housing and increasing pathways to home ownership. Mm-hmm. What specific legislation will you support to make home ownership attainable for middle income families, first time home buyers, and young professionals?
Yeah, that's a great question. And housing is an issue that has been kind of at the top of the list and topic of conversation for the entire 6 years that I have been the mayor. And one of the things that worked really, really well that I would be very supportive continuing is the state of Minnesota gave communities funding that each community could decide how they would distribute those housing funds to help with affordable housing. So in the city of Moorhead, some of it went to home builders, some of it went to renovating lower income housing so that, again, safe, healthy, and thriving. So those could be renovated so people could live there in a safe and healthy environment. And some went to different organizations to like Habitat for Humanity so that they could build homes to help with individuals who are maybe low income that wanted to get into housing. Another program that worked really, really well was a first-time homebuyers program that if the individual was applying for funding from the state of Minnesota and their parents had never been homeowners and they had never been homeowners, they were able to apply for special funds to help with the down payment and a low income or low interest loan so that they could start that home ownership, because that starts the generational wealth. And that program was really successful and really popular. So I would want to look at, is there an opportunity and an ability to bring that program back? A lot of our new Americans across the state of Minnesota took advantage of that opportunity and really were able to get into some home ownership, which was really exciting and thrilling for me to hear about and to see in my own community.
All right, Perkins, are you hearing us?
Yes, I'm hearing you guys now.
Yay.
I was having trouble earlier.
Okay, all right. You want to just greet our guest, or she said we should call her Shelly. So it's yeah.
Okay.
It's easier.
It's easier, right? Good morning, Mayor Shelly. It's good seeing you. I never knew that the mayor in Moorhead was a female. So it's good. I'm in Fargo, so.
Oh, wonderful! Yes,
Yeah.
I'm the second female mayor of Moorhead.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So yeah, I live a few minutes away from you guys, but welcome on our show. We appreciate you being here, and we have the audience watching and following to listen to you on what you have to say about the great city of Moorhead.
Yes, you should move over here. It's wonderful over here.
I'm thinking about it.
That'd be great. Then we can increase our population. Then it'll be 45,001.
Oh, you guys are exact 45,000 right now?
I think we actually are closer to like 47,000, but the 2020 census had us at 44,505.
Wow.
But there's other reports that have come out that we're about 46,000. So we've definitely increased our population since 2020.
Nice. Yeah. That's really good.
Yeah. That's because we're doing such great things. We have a new community center library that just opened in Moorhead that has a walking track in it, that has an indoor playground for kids inside of it. It has a center for entrepreneurship. So people who want to start a business can go there and access information and programming to help get their questions answered so that they can launch a business, hopefully right in Moorhead. And it's, of course, a library, and you can have access to free Wi-Fi and computers and meeting rooms. You could come and do the podcast in the community center library, which we call the Loop. So you, Perkins, can also use it. So next time I'm on, we can go there together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
And we have a underpass. It's $171 million underpass that is going to be finished in Moorhead this fall, that I was instrumental in helping obtain the funding for that. And also a brand new swimming pool and a wonderful community park area that has a skate park. It has pickleball courts. It has basketball courts. The grass is growing, so there's going to be a soccer field, a brand new swimming pool that has a zero entry pool, slides, splash pad. It's beautiful. And that was about an $11 million project that just opened this spring too. So we have a lot of great things that I've been working on the whole time I've been the mayor that they are opening this year, my last year as mayor, which is really exciting for me.
A lot of great things are getting done in Moorhead. And you are right. I drove in Moorhead sometime last week, and the entire environment or community is changed. It's like development everywhere. Construction is going on everywhere. So I see what you're talking about. Great job.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
So Shelly, what do you like about being a mayor?
I really enjoy meeting people. And that has been one of the best parts of being the mayor of Moorhead is I've gotten to meet so many different people that live in the city of Moorhead. And I love the diversity that we have in the city of Moorhead. I think that we are just a mini melting pot where, you have the United States of America, which is a melting pot for a lot of different religions, backgrounds, ethnicities, cultures. And I feel Moorhead is a microcosm. And we have, I think there were 30 different languages spoken by the students who graduated from Moorhead High School just this past year. So we are very diverse and just beautiful community in Moorhead. And as the mayor, I've gotten to meet a lot of people from those different communities. I also think that people who live in Moorhead, we all we all cheer for the same team. We're all Team Moorhead. We support one another. We're really loyal to our businesses and loyal to the community and loyal to the state of Minnesota. So it's truly been an honor and a privilege to represent a community that I just chose to make my home. Since I'm not originally from here, my husband is, and of course our adult children are from here, born and raised here. But I'm a transplant, but I've been here for almost 30 years now.
All right. Mayor, let's do it this way. I have talking about being diverse and all of that. I want to see your campaign video or something like that you put out there. I got one of them. Let me put this one out here.
Hi, I'm Shelly Carlson, and I am running for Minnesota House District 4A to continue building a thriving, safe, and healthy community in Moorhead. As mayor, I have helped to lead the downtown revitalization of Moorhead, pass the first local option sales tax, rebuild Rompkey Park, and complete the 11th Street underpass. I've shown up in moments of progress, and I've shown up when our values have been tested. I'm not running with a personal agenda. I'm running to elevate Moorhead's priorities, such as flood mitigation, a new fire station, mental health support, strong schools, and opportunities for families and entrepreneurs. I've done the work locally, and I'm ready to show up and work hard in St. Paul for our community every single day.
I look at that video and it was so cold that day. It was in December we made that video.
I could see the snow out the back.
Yeah, you could see my breath coming out.
So, but from the video there, I got something that you say you did a local option sale tax. What is that?
So we worked on that for 2 years, and how it works in Minnesota. So in North Dakota, it works a little bit different. Every state is a little bit different. In the state of Minnesota, in order for a city to put a sales tax in place to help, and the sales tax was put in place to help pay for our new community center library, we had to first go and get permission from our legislature in St. Paul. So I testified a number of times to lobby to get the permission so that we could bring it to our city council. So we got permission from our legislature. We went to our city council, got permission, and then I did, I think, 42 presentations to help people to understand that this half-cent sales tax would go towards a new community center library. And then it was voted on in November of that year. And 64% of the people in Moorhead said yes, put the sales tax in place. And then we started collecting that money, and that money is helping to pay for our new community center library. So it was a very long process. And I was kind of the one leading that charge to get that sales tax put in place.
Practice, before I bring you in, just to get a little background. So do you have like a contender or contenders in the race right now?
Yes, I do. Right now we are in the primary election. And so that means in the primary, in Minnesota, you either have to vote just on the Democrat side or on the Republican side. And right now, myself and the other Democrat that is running, it's kind of the process of elimination. I need everybody to come and vote in the primary. Early voting has already started. Okay. The primary is August 11th. Whoever wins this primary on the Democrat ticket then gets to go to November for the general election. So this election is very, very, very important, and I need as many people to get out and vote in the primaries as possible.
So, of the other contenders, why do you think you are the best person?
I think the differentiator for me and why I would like people to vote for me is I have the experience. I've been the mayor for almost 6 years now, and I have a lot of knowledge on how the city works with the state and how the city also can work with the federal government. And so I know the different lanes of what each government entity is responsible for. I've also developed relationships all across the state of Minnesota. I've been the president of the Coalition of Greater Minnesota Cities, and I'm also on the board of directors for the League of Minnesota Cities. So I've developed relationships with people all across the state of Minnesota. As the mayor, I also have a lot of connections in my professional role as well, as an advocate for elder abuse, and just all the relationships that I've built and the knowledge that I have. That's what makes me the best candidate to represent the city of Moorhead in St. Paul.
All right. So our other contributor from Liberia just joined us. But Perkins, while I'm bringing Patrick, you have a question for the mayor?
Yeah, but, yes, but bring Patrick in real quick. You know, they have a full team, and then.
Hey, Patrick.
Yes, Madison, how you doing?
I'm well. I'll greet our guest, Mayor Shelly Carlson, Mayor of Moorhead, Minnesota. So yeah, Mayor, that's our contributor from Liberia, Patrick. Yeah, Patrick, you want to greet your guest? Go ahead.
Yeah, so in some parts of the United States, it should be in the morning time, and so I will say good morning to you, Mayor Carlson. It's an honor to have you on the platform this afternoon from Liberia, and it's an honor to also share the platform with you today. I look forward to having a very interactive, discussion with you. I mean, in your desire to move forward.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Patrick. So Mayor, I want to. I was doing a little research, right? Sam, I think maybe Perkins does not have question right now. But I was doing a little research. I have a bunch of questions too, but I don't want to forget this one. It has to do with, I know a lot of things on the internet for sure. So I just want you to clear the air for us because my cousin that recommended you to me, he's a good guy. And so when he recommends somebody, that person must be good. That's my assumption. Yeah, so two things. In January 2026, you appointed council member Lisa, hopefully I pronounced the last name correct, Bogan, I think, as mayor pro tem. Council member Deb White publicly criticized the decision, arguing that, one, Bogan was your best friend. And then other council members, she also said other council members had greater seniority. And then the last point she made was the appointment created the appearance of favoritism. Okay, so the dispute became contentious enough that you withdrew the appointment and instead selected council member Chuck, I think. So the question regarding the mayor pro tem appointment generated accusations of favoritism. Looking back, will you have handled that situation differently?
No, I wouldn't have. I wouldn't classify myself and Councilmember Borgen as best friends. We are friends, but we started out as work colleagues, and as everybody know, you work with somebody for a number of years, you hopefully do become friends. And she was the Clay County attorney when I was working in crime victim services. And that's how she and I got to know each other. And we worked together on a number of homicide cases and child sexual abuse cases and really got to know one another really, really well. Councilmember Borgen has not just been the primary prosecutor in Clay County. the elected prosecutor, but she's also been a judge. And she's vice president, and she chose to leave a judicial office, and then she became the vice president of a multi-million-dollar company. She has a lot of experience, and she's recently retired, so she has a lot of time to step in for me when I can't. The mayor pro tem is simply a person who runs the council meeting if I happen to be out of town and can't do it, which each year that's maybe 1 or 2 times a year, and it's just simply to run the meeting. Or that person will step in for me if I get asked to present somewhere or read a proclamation and I can't make it. I will first call on my mayor pro tem. And the person that I've had has been Councilmember Chuck Hendrickson. He's been my mayor pro tem all of the other years. He recently got a new job where he's out of town a lot. So I knew that a lot of times I wasn't going to be able to rely on him and would have to ask other council members anyway. And as a judge, Councilmember Borgen has obviously run a courtroom. So it would have been very easy for her to be able to run a council meeting as well. My other council members, a lot of them already work. She's retired, so I knew that she would have the time. It really wasn't anything to do with favoritism, as it was that I felt that she was a person who had time and has done a lot of public speaking, so would be really comfortable stepping in for me. I had a council member who didn't agree with me on that, and I just went back to my previous mayor pro tem. He has not been able to do some of the presentations that I've called on him to do because I can't be there. And so I've had to call on other council members, not just Councilmember Borgen, but others as well. So that's really what it was. I didn't really see it as big of a deal.
So, but why did you withdraw? Why did you withdraw the decision, though, if it wasn't a big of a deal?
Yeah, I withdraw it just because it just became an issue. I thought it was quite silly and quite petty. That's my opinion, but I didn't want to make it become more of an issue because I thought it was really distracting to the more important things that we have to do in the city of Moorhead.
Okay, so the second concern was in late 2025, you nominated your husband. That's Ron Carlson Jr. to serve on the airport committee. And opponents the question, they say, whether the appointment created the appearance of nepotism, whether family members should serve on city committees appointed by the mayor. And so the question, how do you respond to critics who argue that nominating your husband to a city committee created the appearance of conflict of interest?
Again, I thought this was kind of silly as well. We have, I don't know, 10 different, 8, 10, 12 different committees in the city of Moorhead. Individuals do not get paid to be on the committee. It's a volunteer position. And the majority of our committees, there's only 2 committees that make decisions that have to do with taxes. The rest of our committees are ones where they just make recommendations. So they don't pass any policies. They are committees that are assembled to basically get feedback from our community. The committee that I had hoped to appoint my husband to, which again, this was Councilmember White, and a few others who had some issues with this. The person or the council member that serves on that advisory committee, I had talked to her about it previously. She didn't have an issue with it. And I talked to other council members who didn't really see an issue because the committee, again, it's advisory in nature. So they don't get to make policy decisions and they don't get paid. And this one meets, I think, 4 times a year for about 30 minutes. And it's with our airport. My husband is a pilot. That's a hobby of his. And I had waited a long time and was asking individuals to submit an application to be part of this airport advisory committee. I hadn't gotten anybody who had any knowledge or experience about airports. We have a small airport in the city of Moorhead, and I think people on that particular advisory committee, it's helpful to have that knowledge and experience as a pilot. Somebody utilizing that space can give more of an informed advice or thoughts about it. And I had waited for a period of time. Nobody had came forward. My husband has been very interested in that role, and that's why I appointed him. Again, Councilmember White had a lot of issues with that. Most people didn't, but there are much bigger issues in the city of Moorhead to deal with. So I switched it, and I ended up appointing somebody who has never flown a plane, never utilized that airport. And when he was going to his first meeting, that was the first time he had been at that airport. So I guess Councilmember White felt that was a better appointment than somebody who had utilized and had that experience. He did happen to be my husband, but also Councilmember White's, her husband happens to be a senator in the state of Minnesota. And she's on different committees and lobbies her husband. So I think that that's much more of a conflict.
But I think that's the different, that senator is elected, right? So appointing, yes. So that's a distinction there. But let me bring Patrick. Patrick, yeah. You have a question for the mayor?
But I want to respond to that really quickly.
Please.
Our advisory committees don't lobby us to pay for certain things. She lobbies her husband to get him to pass certain bills that would give money to the organizations that she represents. So that's why I think that's more of a conflict than somebody who meets 4 times a year for 30 minutes and just says, yeah, I think that'd be a good idea to have another runway here, or, this should be fixed.
So, but out of curiosity, though, why Councilwoman White? I mean, is she your opposition? Is she from a different party? Why is she critical of you?
She is from the Democrat Party as well. She would be more of the far left progressive party, part of the DFL.
I see. All right. So, Patrick, go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Madison. And again, let me say hi to the mayor. So I was also reading, doing some research, and you've been in a position of mayor of Moorhead since 2021, and so yes. That should be about 5 years. Yes, 5 years now. So going forward, leaving the city leadership to the state house representatives, what is it based on? Self-evaluation that you have performed beyond expectations, or somebody has petitioned you, your party or a group of people have petitioned you, to say, we believe you can still make us proud in the House of Representatives. What is informing your decision or your desire?
What is I couldn't hear. What is my position?
Yeah, what is informing your decision to run for office for the state?
Oh,
seat? Yeah.
Yes. I really think as the mayor, I have been involved in so many different aspects of bringing good things to the city of Moorhead. The 11th Street underpass has been a project that the city has worked on for years and years and years. And I was able to successfully lobby both the state and the federal government to get money to start, and that project will be completed this fall. The local option sales tax that I talked about, I worked on that for 2 years, and then it took 2 years to build that project. We're also doing a revitalization of our downtown. That whole area was valued at $20 million. So it wasn't giving a lot back to the city of Moorhead. So we were able to figure out a way to demolish the old Moorhead Center Mall. And that whole 18 acres of our downtown is now being revitalized. And when it's all done and developed, it will be worth about $500 million. And that is going to increase that tax base and bring a lot of money back to the city of Moorhead, which will enable us to do a lot of good things for everybody in the city. Matson Field, which is a baseball field, I helped create new funding sources to revitalize that area, the Romkey Park area, and also our City Hall building, which was quite frankly falling apart. We are renovating that and adding an addition on so it's more accessible for people to come to our city council meetings and participate in the council meetings and other meetings as well. And I also think it's important for the people who work in the city of Moorhead to have a work environment where they feel very proud to work there and are safe and healthy in the environment they're working at. So these kind of top 5 projects that I've worked on as the mayor of Moorhead and brought people together, I feel all of that experience and the relationships that I've built, also being on statewide organizations, I really feel that this is the perfect time to bring all of that to St. Paul to continue to do great things for the city of Moorhead. Again, the differentiator is I have a lot of experience and I have a lot of those relationships and those connections, and I've delivered results for the city of Moorhead. And I know that I will be able to continue doing that as the next representative in St. Paul.
Thank you. Thank you. So what will it take you to become the next representative? What will you have to accomplish, or what will you have to showcase in your campaign? Considering the fact that in 2021, you were appointed on mayor unanimously. That is, you may not have had some experience with opponents, facing off with your opponents. So how does this define you in the upcoming election?
Well, I was appointed unanimously by my fellow council members to serve the remainder of Jonathan Judd's term, but then I did run for election. So the city of Moorhead, the people who live in the city of Moorhead, did elect me to serve as their mayor. So they got me for 2 years, and I think they saw what I was doing and they were very supportive and did elect me to be the mayor of Moorhead this last 4-year term. So this is my last year of the term that I was elected. So it's not that I was just appointed and I've been the mayor. I ran for election and I won, I think 84% of the vote. The first thing that I have to do is win this primary election on August 11th. And I have had great support from members of the Liberian community. I just met with the ULAND, the United Liberian Association of North Dakota, the new president and his, I don't know if you want to call it his cabinet. And then Othello Colo, who lives in Moorhead, is been my liaison to the Liberian community, and he's been extremely helpful to me in getting the support of the Liberian community to go and early vote. And hopefully I win the August 11th primary. And if I win the August 11th primary, that means that I will be on the ballot in November. And I have a really good chance that whoever the Democrat is in Moorhead that wins this primary will win the general election. So this primary election is extremely, extremely important. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, okay. Perkins, you have 2 questions. Do you have questions for the mayor?
Yes. Mayor Shelly, good conversation. Really, really good conversation. I see that you, the city of Moorhead has honored you with the Dracon Award. Do you want to talk to us about that, what that means and, what that entails?
Yeah, that was an award that I was not expecting, and it was a shock and a surprise, and it was so humbling to receive the Dragon Award. And for people who don't know what it is, Minnesota State University Moorhead, where I got my bachelor's degree and my master's degree, so I say I'm a double dragon. They give out awards to alumni who have done great things in the community. And I was selected to receive this prestigious award that recognized the work that I've done, not just as an advocate for crime victims, but as an advocate. I really see the mayor position as advocating for my city, but as the mayor of Moorhead for this is my 6th year. And so I was recognized and honored at a ceremony where I was given this beautiful award from my alma mater, just thanking me, I guess, for doing that great work.
Nice. Now, you have some extensive background with the justice system. Like you said, you were part of the team that was fighting the victim crime unit. We also see that you was a project manager at the Minnesota Elder Justice Center. So you're pretty familiar with our justice system. Well, let's say for Minnesota. Now, if you look at Minnesota right now, what would you say? Do the justice system need any improvement in Minnesota, in Moorhead? Is there anything needs to be changed or anything needs to be improved on? Will you say that?
Yeah, there's always improvements that need to be made in the criminal justice system. As things evolve, I think of technology, particularly with elder abuse. There's a lot of technology where people are being scammed financially, and there's new laws that should be put in place that makes it easier to investigate and prosecute the people who are financially exploiting our older adults. Technology is also an issue with stalking and domestic violence cases. Then I also see in the juvenile justice system, there's a lot of opportunity for restorative justice to get more funding to implement that in our juvenile justice system. So the short answer is that there's always improvements that need to be made within our criminal justice system. And I would say that it's always a work in progress. And as things evolve, as we learn new information, as we get more data, the legislature needs to be responsive to making sure that, excuse me, that offenders are held accountable, but that victims of crime are made as whole as possible.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So, Mayor, let's do a little commercial for you again. We are here to interview, but we are also here to promote you and put you out there to the public. So let me see. I saw something here too that I want to play quickly. We'll be right back, guys.
District 4A.
Now that right there is current Moorhead Mayor Shelly Carlson announcing that she will be running for a Minnesota House seat in next year's election. Carlson made the announcement with her campaign team at Swing Barrel Brewing. Carlson has been the mayor of Moorhead for the past 5 years. She's focusing her campaign on how to make sure that communities will thrive, stay healthy, and be safe. Now, this announcement follows closely on the heels of DFL State Representative Heather Keeler's decision to run for Congress, challenging Republican U.S. Representative Michelle Fischbach.
So I'm running for the Minnesota House because I believe in the power of partnership. I believe in collaboration over division. And I believe elected leaders should show up, listen, and work relentlessly for the people they represent. This isn't about a personal agenda of mine. It's about elevating Moorhead's priorities.
Carlson also went on to say that throughout this next year, she'll be able to handle her duties as mayor and also run her campaign. She says that following her term, the city of Moorhead will be in good hands with whoever gets elected next mayor.
There are incredible people serving already in a variety of leadership positions across Moorhead, and both in nonprofit sectors and within the public sector. So I think that the city is going to be in really good hands.
Now, Carlson's term as mayor of Moorhead ends December 31st of next year. The general election next year is set for November.
Okay, Mayor. So quickly, my question here to you. Let's talk about your platform a little bit here. Your platform emphasizes meaningful tax cuts while also proposing new investments in housing, education, healthcare, and public safety. How do you plan to balance these priorities without creating budget deficits?
That's a great question, and it's really delving into where are the efficiencies that can be created within the state infrastructure and within the different departments of the state of Minnesota. I think there are duplications sometimes. So, like for example, I was door knocking and I heard. Or I had a conversation with somebody who talked about that there's two different licensings for adult foster care and child foster care, and he has done foster care in other states where there's one licensing. And so, it's examining, do we need two different types of licensing? Could it be done easier with one? So there's a lot of efficiencies that I think could be created. And there are different ways that we could look at funding things as well, so that we're not always maybe looking at going into a deficit, but maybe saving money in a lot of places that could be reutilized in other ways. As far as, there's ways to lower the childcare and housing and healthcare costs, but there's also funding that needs to be put into those specific things too. So it's finding efficiencies and then finding new ways to raise money where we're not adding additional burden onto our taxpayers.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, our special guest is the mayor of Moorhead, Minnesota. She wants to be the representative for Minnesota State District 4A. So if you have questions, we'll look at your comments as well. If you have questions or comments, something to say to her, we definitely will read your comments. So Mayor, I think I read, minute criticism of you. So let me also tell my audience, besides the criticism, you have been doing a great job as a mayor. So to reiterate some of the things you said, she worked on the downtown redevelopment initiative, plus or minus 500 million. That's a lot of money. That's a huge project. Flood protection, advocacy, affordable housing efforts, expand community engagement, recognition of volunteers through the Moorhead Award, advocacy for public safety, support for diversity and inclusion, regional cooperation on flood diversion and economic development. So these are some of the good things, but Mayor, there's something I got there: support for diversity and inclusion. And to exemplify that, I think you are not only doing it just on the paper. I saw a video here where you address something like that. So let me play a quick video here.
Residents. This afternoon, Mayor Shelly Carlson, who recently announced her candidacy for the Minnesota House, held a press conference to say Moorhead is a welcoming place.
Moorhead area schools published in their annual report that students in our district speak 63 different languages at home. That is not just a statistic. I find it to be a very beautiful reflection of our global community here in Moorhead. And it is something that we are building right here in the city, is a global community.
So I like your global outlook. That's a good thing. But how is your policy affecting the immigrant community in Moorhead?
Well, one of the things that I've been working on for a number of years is trying to lobby the legislature to provide some funding to help create a cultural mall in the city of Moorhead. So I've been working with Fauzia Adi, who is the executive director of the Immigrant Development Center. One of the things that I have learned as mayor, working with a lot of particularly the new American community, is they're very interested in starting new businesses, starting new restaurants, starting businesses that are specific maybe more to their culture, like a clothing store that sells more ethnic clothing, particularly for women, but also for men too. Just a whole plethora of different businesses. And a cultural mall would be a place that they can start and be an incubator for those businesses. I also was just speaking with a gentleman from the Kurdish community who would love to start a global market grocery store in the city of Moorhead. So the foods and offerings would be more specific to different ethnicities and cultures in the city of Moorhead. I want to create that opportunity for people across the globe, across the city of Moorhead, to do whatever they want to do to ensure that they can thrive in the city of Moorhead. But it also begins by making sure that they know that they are invited to be part of our boards and committees. We don't get a lot of individuals from different backgrounds applying to be part of boards and committees, kind of like I was talking about with my husband applying. I also feel that there's other opportunities that members of diverse communities could maybe participate in our police academy or citizens government academy to learn more about how the city of Moorhead works, how law enforcement works, and develop relationships and partnerships. So I'm just a strong advocate for anything that allows people to participate in a way that they feel safe, healthy, and are able to thrive in the city of Moorhead.
Great. All right, Patrick, let me bring you in here.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thanks again. So, from what I'm hearing and what I've been reading and from the videos you play, I want to find out from the mayor, as a primary approaches about 30 days to go now, are you facing off with anyone in the primary, or is there somebody, as tough as you are?
Yes, there is somebody else running in the primary on the Democrat ticket. So that's why the primary is so important. If I don't win the primary, that means that I'm just done. I'm not done being the mayor. I won't be done being the mayor until December 31st, but I will be done being an elected official representing the city of Moorhead. That's why the primary is so important, is I have to win the primary in order to be on that ballot in November. And I really feel that Moorhead is a Democrat city, which means that really whoever wins this primary in August will more than likely win the November election and be the next representative for the city of Moorhead. And I really think that my experience, the relationships and the partnerships that I've built over the last, not just 6 years as mayor, but 30 years as a professional working in the city of Moorhead and across the state of Minnesota, I can really leverage those partnerships and collaborations and relationships and continue to do good things for the city of Moorhead like I have done for the last 5.5 years.
Do you stand a greater chance against your opponent?
What was that?
He's asking what is your probability of winning against the opponent?
I think it's going to be a tight race. I really do. I think that I need to have as many people involved in voting for me as possible. The other person running is a wonderful lady, but she does not have the experience being an elected official, and it is different. I have learned a lot in the last almost 8 years being an elected official, and particularly being the mayor and kind of being at the center of everything. I don't think that you can discount somebody who has the level of experience that I do versus somebody who has never served and doesn't understand the challenges that are in place being in a position where you're having to make hard decisions.
Perkins, before I bring you on, Mayor, you when you were talking about the immigrants community, right? You spoke of people applying, encouraging people to apply for board membership. What are the requirements to be on the board?
The requirements to be on the board in the city of Moorhead is you have to live on the city of Moorhead. So when Perkins moves over here, he'll be able to apply to be on a border commission. But you have to live in the city of Moorhead for 30 days and be 18.
Nice. Okay, Perkins, do you have a question for her?
Yeah, I'm working on moving to the city of Moorhead to get on the board. Let's see.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And make that happen. Yes, Mayor Shelly, honestly, you are doing a lot of great things. So right now you are on the show, and people that have not met you physically, this is my first time seeing you, even though we're not meeting physically, but they are only hearing the things that you have done and you continue to do for this city of Moorhead. Now, for some of us who have been in Moorhead, a lot of times we physically actually see what you do down there. So you're doing a great job. And I think Moorhead will be proud to have you represent them in the House. So let's continue on the good job. We like the fact that your campaign is about diversity. You are bringing different people from different backgrounds together to work together. Now, what specific programs have you initiated or intend to initiate when it becomes representative in terms of youth empowerment? What specific program will help the youth, stay out of trouble and focus to the right side of things?
There are so many different youth programs that are already out there that I think people just they don't know about them. And so if you don't know about a program, you don't even realize that you can apply for a program. And you specifically asked about to keep kids out of trouble. So there is a police sergeant who is just a completely he just is a wonderful, wonderful person who just really loves kids and loves empowering kids. He actually started a program called Police Athletic League and it's a nonprofit that is outside of the police department. But he still involves police officers. So this is just one example. There's a lot of other examples I can give too, through the schools and different things like that, and even through the city of Moorhead itself. But the PAL program, the Police Athletic League, they have a program in the summertime that they have youth that are working out with police officers. So they're developing those relationships. And they're more at-risk youth that are participating in this program. And they get to participate, like I said, in working out together. They go do community service projects together. This group of police officers will go into our homeless shelters and connect and take those kids shopping at Christmas time. There's, different, I'm trying to think of all the other programs that they do. They do so many different programs. There's also programs that get kids out into helping to grow gardens with community garden organizations so that they develop an understanding of growing their food and then eating healthy food and preparing that food. There's programs through the schools. Kids can participate in our restorative justice program and be those role models for other kids who would maybe doing things that are maybe getting them in trouble. And again, making sure that there's kind of that good peer pressure to go to school, get good grades, participate in your community in a healthy way and positive way. So there's so many different things. And I think at the state level, there's funding for it. And I want to make sure that we support and make sure those funding streams aren't reduced, because the outcomes of those funding streams to support the programs that are in the city of Moorhead, and not through the city, but encompassed in the city of Moorhead, they have a lot of return on the investment. We're investing in youth, and anytime that you can invest in youth so that they become, that they feel safe in their community, they can thrive in their community, that's a good thing for everybody. You know,
Thank you.
one thing in the president of Concordia College lived in the country of Norway for a year, and he said that how the Norwegians rule their government, and this is in every aspect, I guess, of Norwegian life, is they ask first and foremost, is this something that will help the children? And if it's a program or a policy that invests in the youth that will help the youth, then the answer is always yes, and they figure it out. And I feel the same way. If we invest in our youth and make sure that the most vulnerable people in our community are well taken care of, we are going to have a good community that cares for one another and everybody gets lifted up.
Sounds great. Sounds great.
So Perkins talking about the mayor talking about caring for one. I got one more video here. Let me get her reaction to this.
The committee has met twice since February to look at how immigration raids and checks affect schools, businesses, and families.
I think it really reflects our ongoing commitment to providing clear information and strengthening partnerships to support all members of our communities.
Carlson says the group reviewed how Moorhead police work with federal immigration agents and what they're legally allowed to do. That's when council member questions began.
Well, if they don't have the validity, who does? If the police department doesn't have the ability to confirm a judicial warrant, who among us does?
I can't answer that. I'm not law enforcement, so.
Well, that actually is very concerning to me. If they cannot identify a judicial warrant, that is very concerning, and that's a problem for another day.
A handful of residents spoke out, claiming the committee isn't enough.
While Operation Metro Surge may seem to be subsiding, the threat of ICE remains a constant shadow over Moorhead. Silence from our city leadership is not neutrality. It's a choice that leaves our neighbors exposed.
They're pushing for a separation ordinance to limit cooperation with ICE.
This lack of action and actionable items disgusts me. I am concerned about the reliance on individuals in positions of power and privilege to manipulate this conversation.
But a move to add discussion for that separation ordinance never went through. It didn't make the agenda with a 4-2 vote.
We've had.
So Mayor, I saw some of the citizens, the residents, they were expressing some concern over there about ICE and other things. I mean, how did your administration approach the issue of ICE when they were going around the country?
Yeah, first and foremost, I think what the Trump administration did by bringing in all the ICE agents down in Minneapolis, St. Paul, and the Twin Cities area, and in very targeted smaller communities across the state of Minnesota was horrific. And I absolutely condemn what they did, particularly with the homicides of Renee Good and Mr. Preddy. That aside, I think it's important to also understand the role of a city, the role of the state, and the role of the federal government. There are certain government structures and authority that each individual level of government has. As the city, we can't necessarily dictate or override our federal government. They have the ability to override things that we do in the city. So the biggest issue that we were facing as a city council, and the most contentious issue, was this separation ordinance, which Minneapolis and St. Paul had in place for a number of years. And I think everybody knows that it did absolutely nothing for them, and it did not protect their citizens. I was not a fan of putting a separation ordinance in place because I'm not a fan of putting laws in place that you can't enforce. And a separation ordinance is simply that, an ordinance. And if we put it's a city law in place that says that federal ICE agents couldn't come to one of our parking lots that we own and say that they did that, we really I don't know what we would do in sending a police officer to arrest a federal agent for basically trespassing is what it is. And trespassing is something that you give somebody a ticket. And so you could give that person a ticket, that federal agent a ticket, and they would probably still stay there. And then we would have the federal government coming in and potentially suing the city of Moorhead. And then we would have to use millions of dollars to participate in some type of a lawsuit. And in Minneapolis, they are in a lawsuit right now. I don't want to take taxpayer dollars to fight the federal government over basically what ends up being a trespass ordinance that I don't know that we would win anyway. I also spoke with a lot of our new American communities who said, please don't put the spotlight on our community. The more attention you draw, the more of a spotlight you put on the community of Moorhead, the more attention we're going to get from the federal government, and they may send more federal agents in. So what I chose to do as the mayor instead was to start a committee to try to figure out ways to help people who maybe weren't comfortable leaving their homes. We didn't have a lot of ICE activity in the city of Moorhead. I'm not going to say we didn't have any. We did have some, but it was not to the level of the Twin Cities. But I wanted to make sure that people had housing, that people had food to eat if they didn't feel comfortable leaving their homes. I wanted to make sure that they had access to mental health resources, that they had access to the resources that they needed. And the immigrant community that I spoke to was very grateful for that, and grateful for not bringing the attention to the city of Moorhead in a way that a very small group of people, and the residents who came are part of that small group, who really wanted this separation ordinance in place that, in my opinion, working in the criminal justice system for 30 years, would have done nothing to protect the citizens of Moorhead. It would have been more symbolic, and I'm not about putting laws in place that you can't enforce, and a symbolic law.
All right, so guys, I think the mayor has been with us for an hour now. I think she's a busy lady, so we can do come, and then we can give Leo to have the rest of our day. So Patrick, let's get your last two questions.
Yeah, so you're right, and we have to let go of the mayor to continue on her work. But my last two questions, one, what are the challenges, you foresee in your quest to excel to the State House of Representatives? What are the obstacles you foresee to encounter, at least as a disadvantage?
So I'll kind of answer that two ways. The challenges right now, again, is getting people to vote for me in the primary. I really feel that if I win in the primary on August 11th, and early voting has started, so all you need to do is go to the Government Center, which is open Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30. Super easy to vote. You bring your Minnesota driver's license, or if you're new to living in the city of Moorhead, a bill that shows that you're a resident of Moorhead, and you go to the Government Center and vote. It literally takes 5 minutes. So that's one of the challenges. If I'm fortunate enough to be elected, and I really hope I am, to be elected to the Minnesota House of Representatives, I think the biggest challenge I see is, number one, having people, other elected officials across the state of Minnesota, understand that Moorhead is very unique. We're on a border city, or border of Minnesota and North Dakota. So there are special statutory advantages that we have, and I think we could really elevate that to be more competitive with our neighbors in North Dakota. So it's getting the folks down in the Twin Cities to understand that, and then also being that voice for greater Minnesota. Things are different in greater Minnesota than they are in the Twin Cities, and just being that voice. I saw that as a president of the Coalition of Greater Minnesota Cities, that the elected officials from the Twin Cities area, they have certain laws and legislation they want to pass, but it really just helps the people in the metro area, and not necessarily in greater Minnesota or in Moorhead. So I would see those as some challenges.
Okay. Patrick, Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So let me just show him the last one. And I want to take the mayor back, to the previous question you asked about, the immigrant community and the outrage that was caused recently with the presence of ICE all over the place. Now, do you believe that Minnesota is host to a group of illegal immigrants in the United States?
I think there are legal immigrants in every state in the United States. I don't think that Minnesota is unique in that, but I think that there's a lot more individuals that are here legally than there are illegally.
So Mayor, to follow on that question though, on the question of illegal immigrants, what is your approach? How do you what is your policy? Say, for example, people that are on DACA, for example, right? I mean, that want to be. I mean, their parents came here. They were born here young, and they are not considered citizen. I mean, would you support a legislation to enable them get a pathway to citizenship? Is that the route you're thinking, or you have another approach to that?
No, I would 100% support that. But again, that's a different level of government. The state of Minnesota can't pass that legislation.
Okay.
That's at the federal government. And that's what I mean. It's understanding the different authorities that different levels of government have. I'm definitely in support of that. Again, going back to, is it good for the children? These were young people that were brought here that didn't have any decision in moving here. And now they've lived here their entire lives. And some may not even speak the language of their native country. I don't know why we wouldn't do that. They're basically U.S. citizens,
I'm asking. I asked the question because I'm seeing the progression. You are city mayor now. You want to go up to a state level representative, and I don't know your next move. Maybe you want to go around the federal level. You never know. So
I got to win this one first. Let's just focus on this one first. I never even thought I would be here. I never thought I was going to be the mayor. I was, again, thrilled to be on city council. And I think this is why I'm also a good candidate, because I don't have some personal agenda. I don't have, one thing that me, Shelly Carlson, wants to change. I take my direction and my directive from the people that I'm serving, based on my knowledge and experiences, in the criminal justice system, seeing what could be tweaked. But I was honored and thrilled to be the city council member. When I was appointed mayor, I found I really loved it and I really enjoyed it. And then at the end of this term, there's an open seat in the House of Representatives. And now with my experience going on the last 6 years, I see that there's a lot of opportunity. And my experience, I could use that knowledge and those partnerships and continue to do great things. So 8 years ago, if you would have said I was running for the Minnesota House of Representatives, I would have called you a liar. I don't know that I would have thought that I would have been here, but everything just kind of builds on the next thing. So I guess I shouldn't say never, or I shouldn't say no, that won't be me, but that is certainly not something that I'm looking at doing. I would be beyond honored and thrilled to have the privilege to serve the city of Moorhead in the Minnesota House of Representatives.
Okay, Perkins, that get 2 questions. Politicians, they always leave that window open. I'm not too sure yet. They always do that. Perkins, go ahead.
Yes, Mayor Shelly. Once again, so from what I've seen so far, we are kind of exhausted. A lot of the questions and your answers are all good answers, I would say. What of honor your leadership as a mayor of Moorhead for the past 5 to 6 years? What do you think the control of drugs has been? The abuse of drugs, the consumption of illegal drugs. How do you think you guys have done under your administration to keep that under control?
drugs and addiction issues is a challenge. It's been a challenge since I started in the criminal justice world 30 years ago. It kind of depends. What I've seen is over the last 30 years, there's just different drugs that are coming to play. Meth used to be huge. Maybe now it's more heroin. It's always a challenge. It's always a challenge. The one thing that I think is really good in the Fargo-Moorhead area is the city of Moorhead. We don't try to do it alone and by ourselves. We participate in a drug crimes task force that our police officers serve on with Fargo, with West Fargo, with the Clay County Sheriff's Department, the Cass County Sheriff's Department, and then there are federal drug agents as well. And they all work together and share information and make sure that they're doing whatever they can to combat the distribution of drugs in our community, and also making sure that they enforce the laws. I think that we've done a good job. I think that with our new police chief, he is more about making sure that information is given out to the community when big drug busts have happened. And I think that is important to showcase the work that they are doing. It can be a really dangerous job working with some of those individuals who choose to make that their profession. But we have some really committed citizens who choose to go into law enforcement because that is their passion, to make sure that drugs stay off the street.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And I know the state of Minnesota also have adopted a legislation in the past allowing medical marijuana being legal in Minnesota. We don't have that here in North Dakota. What do you think the impact is in Moorhead for you, from your experience? Is it helping people getting what they need in terms of health benefit, or is it I know for a fact it's in kind of will increase the state budget because of that spending wise, but medically, what from your experience, what do you think is it doing? Was it a good idea to legalize medical marijuana in your state?
So for the individuals who, and it's not just medical marijuana, it can be used recreationally now in Minnesota as well. Specifically for the individuals who utilize it for medicinal purposes, I have heard that has been a game changer for them. And it's been very, very helpful. And I will say that the effect in the city of Moorhead, I think it's still so new. It's only been, I think, a year and a half that those laws were passed. So I think we still need to wait until some more data comes into play to find out, what the effect has been. Definitely a positive is that we've been able to open more businesses in Moorhead, and more businesses bring in more tax base. So that's been a benefit for the city in that aspect. And I do know that some people have utilized it in a way to access maybe the gummies to help with sleep. So there have been some positives, but then there's, I've also heard of some other the challenges that, some of those gummies look like candy, and then kids eat them, and then they have health challenges from that. So I think there's been pros and cons, but it's still too early to state an overall this has been amazing and great, or this has been horrible, because it's just hasn't been long enough.
Oh, thank you, Dak.
Yeah.
Before you come in, real quick, unexpected emergency that came up, and I don't want to be on the phone while we're having a conversation, so I'm going to have to excuse myself a little early. So let me just say, Mayor Shelly Carlson, thank you for availing yourself to us, to your community, and to the state of Minnesota. all our viewers, for those that live in Moorhead, Minnesota, this is the Mayor Shelly Carlson. She is running to represent the state of Moorhead, District 4A,
Yes, A.
District 4A. So we are asking you, on that date, what the primary date is in August, right?
August 11th, but early voting has already started.
Okay, early voting has already started, and August 11th will be the primary. She has been mayor for about 6 years, and that's a reason why Moorhead gave her 6 years to serve as a mayor, because she's been doing a great job. If you enter Moorhead, if you are not around Moorhead, you Google Moorhead, you will see the work she's doing. So we are asking you, put your hands together, let's vote her, and so she can represent the city of Minnesota or Moorhead in the House. Please, let's do it. Thank you very much, Mayor, for showing yourself, and we appreciate you for being on the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Perkins, see you later, man. Whatever happens, I'll call you later when I get up. All right. So, Mayor, I mean, to let you go, I don't want to hold you for too long. You've been quite generous with your time. We really appreciate that. So I just wanted to, I mean, in Liberia, it's different than in the U.S., right? In Liberia, you don't know what it is. They call it something they call voter trucking. So what that means is you take voters from one region and carry them to another area to vote. I wish this were Liberia, right? I would like ask my family members in other areas to come to North Dakota, Moorhead, to vote for you, but it's not. I mean, I don't know how the law works at the level of the primary. I don't know. You have to be a member of the party before you vote. How does it work? Or anybody can just come in and vote?
Anybody can just come in and vote. Anybody can just come in and vote. Again, you just have to register, but you can register when you go there. So the Clay County Government Center, for those who live in Moorhead, the Clay County Government Center, it is by the middle school. People in Moorhead will know where that is. The address is 3510 12th Avenue South. They are open Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30. You go in there, you tell them that you want to vote in the primary. You show them your driver's license that shows that you're a resident of Moorhead. They will have you fill out a form where you write down your name and your driver's license number and information. So you register and you turn that in, and then they give you the ballot. Then you go and you fill out the ballot. You have to color in the little circles, color in the circle by my name, and then you turn it back into them. And it takes less than 5 minutes. That's all it is.
Well, so basically you have to be a resident of Moorhead before you can vote.
You do have to be a resident of Moorhead.
Okay.
And you do have to be a U.S. citizen.
Okay, cool. I just want
and 18. Okay, so 3 things: resident of Moorhead, U.S. citizen, and 18.
Okay, all right. So, Mayor, I definitely I'm working on my cousin to see what we can get people to support you. I mean, if you win, what is in there for me or for my community specifically?
Well, you live in the cities, right?
No, I'm in Columbus, Ohio.
Oh, you're in Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah.
Well, then you get to then you can fly up to St. Paul, and I will give you a tour of the Capitol.
Great, thank you, thank you. I'll let you go. My final question is, if you could leave district number 4 with one lasting legacy after serving in a Minnesota House, what would you want future generations to remember about your leadership and your service to the community?
I want my legacy to be that I left the community better than when I started serving. So as a mayor, I feel I'm leaving my community better with an underpass, a brand new underpass, with a new community center library, with a redeveloped downtown, with a brand new $10 million park that's been revitalized, a new baseball press box and fan stand where people can sit and watch the game. I feel that I have left my community and served my community and made it better than it was when I started. And that's what I hope to leave as my legacy if if the next House of Representatives for Moorhead in St. Paul.
Nice. So if you have a final page, the opportunity is yours. Go ahead. What you want to tell the Liberian community, what you want to tell the Somalian community, the different immigrants community in Moorhead, and even nearby North Dakota, just go ahead.
Yes. Well, first and foremost, to all of the new Americans that live in the city of Moorhead, thank you. Thank you for choosing Moorhead. We love having you here, and I hope that you feel welcome here because I love having you here. So that's the number one thing. Second is I have really felt it's been an honor and privilege to be the mayor of Moorhead and serve as an advocate and the representative from the city of Moorhead. And third, to please get out and vote for me in the primary. Again, early voting has started, so you can vote anytime, or you can choose to vote on August 11th, which is the primary date, because I hope to continue to represent you in St. Paul and to continue to do great things for the city of Moorhead, serving as your elected House of Representative.
All right, Mayor, thank you. And last thing for me, from August 13 to the 16th, we have our ethnic organization here. They call the United Sapo Association in Americas. And every year we have a national convention and we select locations. So August from the 13th to the 16th will be our national convention in Minnesota. And I want to just extend a public invitation to you. If you want to come to grace our occasion, we'll be elated to see you there.
I would love to do that, but unfortunately I will be out of the country.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's fun. But we wish you well. I can't wait to get a tour of the Capitol building when you win. So have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on.
All right. All right, Patrick, that's our guest there, Mayor Carlson there for us. Yes. So and then thoughts about the guests, American politics. You got a little taste of it, What do you make of it?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think it's an eye opener, for me. It's a learning curve, and interacting with an American politician, and the different areas and dynamics of American politics, and the sincerity of American politics. You have to win, but based on your platform and not otherwise. Yeah, I mean, I learn a lot, and I'm inspired by, by her ambition and what she has achieved so far in the city of Moorhead, going forward. I hope and expectation that she wins the primary, even though she faces a tough challenger, and moving forward. Well, I think, thank you for the questions too, and I learned a lot, and it's something we look forward to having her again, or other individuals in the American community.
All right, so let me I'll get something, just something quick before we go. But let me look at the viewers' comments here. See, Otello is the one that Otello is a good networker, I should say. What is that a word? But he networks very well, and he made a connection. So Otello, I want to say thank you so much for bringing the mayor on to talk to us. Otello say, we the Liberian community in Moorhead are standing with you. We will give you all our support and make sure you win the primary coming up in August. All right, that's Otello there. And Patrick Bolu, okay. Patrick, you're on the show. I'm not going to read your comments. We say here, good afternoon, folks. I'm watching live from Greenville City, Sinoe County, Liberia. That's LRB. What is LR is Liberia, Patrick? Republic of Liberia.
Yeah.
Master Tule, Master say thanks so kindly, Dr. Epoda Esoteric, for inviting the city mayor. So such a program, if our mayors are in Liberia, can follow. I think they will learn a lot from explanation. That's true. And we tell you I love the answer, Mayor Shelly Carlson, and following live from the campus of the University of Liberia. Maxwell, thanks for following. I will tell to all Liberian community living up Moorhead, USA, please come over to support Mayor Shelly Carlson for Minnesota District 4 representative. All right, so Tello is campaigning for his candidate. Good afternoon, how you doing, Sam? Where is Patrick? Patrick, you're normally early, but today you're a little late, so the first lady was asking for you. Let's see here. Watching live from Liberia, Oldest Republic, okay, Africa, okay. Logan Hampson, as always, my husband, thank you, wifey. And hey, my darling husband, hey, my queen wife. And then Trouble say, awesome. All right, Patrick, these are the comments I just wanted to read and see what the viewers are saying. But quickly, Patrick, I want to talk about what you guys call it, homecoming. I think I saw the program for Sinoe County, Mississippi, or whatever that was. I mean, what was the program again? I think it made a commercial a couple of times about it when the Sinoe County was established and different things. I don't know whether you went there. They had a huge celebration for it.
Yeah. I should go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think the program was a homecoming. July, because it was called the July 9 homecoming celebration, for Sinoe County. I think for the 5 years. All right, yeah. For the 5 years since the program was halted or was abolished or was come back.
Go ahead. I don't want. I just want to follow what the whole homecoming is all about. But go ahead. I think you're about to hit the point. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the homecoming was about bringing Sinoe sons and daughters, back home. Okay, and celebrating the July 9 as it was, as it used to be before the coup in 1980. So people came somebody came from Finland, citizens came from Monrovia, and the leaders of the county, some of the leaders were there. And I mean, it was a joyful homecoming, and everybody really celebrated and enjoyed it. So they tried to start the ethnic groupings, the Sapo, the Crew, the Jilepo, and everybody, and even all of the communities in Greenville or Sinoe. That Sinoe is one county, one Sinoe, one future. So it was the coming together of all Sinoe citizens, regardless of the status, the position, and celebrating the birth of the county and the legacy of the great leaders who established the county 108 years ago.
Okay, so whose legacy are we celebrating? The people that established the county, or or the people that liberated the county? Whose legacy the program is actually set up for?
So the program is set up for all of Sinoe. It did not distinguish. Those who established and those who liberated and stuff like that. Because the essence of the July 9 celebration, when the idea I brought about it was to erase the memories or the sentiments of American Liberian and indigenous Liberian, that politics, that sentiment, that emotion was the reason for which that program was established. So Sinoe sons and daughters indigenous American Liberian, they all became one. All right, and every July 9, they would come together, celebrate, and they would mingle, they would do all the things together as one big family. So no more Congo people, no more indigenous people, it was just one big sign before the coup took place. So that spirit is what they are bringing back. But if we should celebrate legacy, we are celebrating the legacy of the founding fathers, because without what they did, we don't have the county, we don't have a place called home. So we are celebrating the legacy of the
Patrick,
founding fathers.
Patrick, that when you say without the founding fathers, we wouldn't have a place called. There was nowhere called Sinoe before the so-called founding fathers came.
No, there was no Sinoe.
There was no land in that area. The name, okay, we never had a name. So, but there was no land space over there that we now call Sinoe, and nobody was living there.
There was a land space.
So then, why are we celebrating the legacy of the so-called founding fathers? I mean, you have fathers, but you don't have mothers. Why celebrate the legacy of founding fathers? Patrick, I know you do a lot of reading. Yeah.
Yeah. So that legacy we're celebrating today is even reflected within ourselves. For instance, without that legacy, you could not have had Fred Blair as representative. You could not have had Romeo Queer as representative.
So what did Fred Blair do?
You could not have had Major TJ as senator. You could never have had Yimpa as senator. You could never have had Noah as representative. Now you could not have had Xavier as a port director. You could never had so many things with that legacy. So that legacy brought about everything we now enjoy.
No, Patrick, you see, you're actually, I mean, sometimes you talk on both sides of your mouth, right? What you are counting right now is the legacy of the progressives. It's not the legacy of the settlers. You got the settler class, the progressive that you always vilified or you berate. They were the one that fought, that gave Sonny Boy Noah the opportunity to vote. When the settlers came, you and myself, you never had the right to vote. You need to be. Patrick, hold on. That's not true. You can't say that. There was no inclusivity when the people came. Why you think the people fought for the struggle? If everybody was included, everybody was taken care of, why the progressive had to fight?
Okay, thank you for that question. So, in the first place, from the foundational beginning of the nation, the things you were trying to talk about, yes, existed. But when Tolman in 1951, when Tolman granted every Liberian that universal adult suffrage to every Liberian, Liberians started to vote regardless of
what year was
who
it?
they were. 1951. 1951.
Okay, when the Republic was established.
The Republic was established in 1847.
1847. Okay.
Yeah.
So how many years before? How many years before the suffrage?
That was 100. That was 104 years.
Okay, so Patrick, you are celebrating 104 years suppression. That what you are telling me?
No, come in. The point I'm trying to erase here, you're trying to give credit to whom it is not due. So the point you're raising here is that so after the universal adult suffrage was granted in 1951, in the elections of 1955, Liberian citizens voted regardless of who they were. Secondly, by 1964, in recognition of all politics, President Tubman created 4 counties, and for the very first time, Liberians elected their own representative And in Sinoe, for example, the land of the birth, for example, in Johnson particularly, the first representative, the first indigenous representative, late Joseph Slero, was elected as the people's representative in the House of Representatives. So 1980 coup or 1979 Rice Riot or the 1975 agitation on the progressives or the progressives, the Mojans and everybody, it did not bring about what we enjoy today. It only exacerbated, it only exaggerated, it only added, it only took the nation back, it derailed the nation, a moving train, it derailed a moving train, a moving ship at high sea. It caused it to sink by fire by force. That was what the progressives did. Today, what we enjoy is not what the progressives doing. It's not their bidding. For them, it was about them. Their power, their greed, what they earn. The in-house fight, internal wrangling, everything. Today, see it today. So don't give them credit, my brother. I know you are a
Patrick, you can't give people credit. And you just told me from 1847 to 1951 that in 1951 the people, they were given the right to vote just to cast a ballot. We are not going to the other areas, right? Just to take a paper and vote for the leader you want. It took 104 years, Patrick. But then you say, you know what? Sonny Boy Noah becoming lawmaker. Romeo Kuya becoming lawmaker. Clayton Duncan becoming lawmaker. It is because of the settler class, because of the oppressor class. Patrick, I don't want to open another program, but again, I like the fact that we disagree. And that's why I think Maxwell Tully wrote something about the Mississippi colonization. They were celebrating. I was like, what in the world? How the hell you going to celebrate the legacy of your oppressors? You want to tell me you cannot celebrate that day when Doe liberated the indigenous people from the oppression of the oligarchs? You couldn't do that? You got to go celebrate 173-year oppression. That's what you're celebrating. You call it Mississippi. And the name is Mississippi Colonization Society. They colonized our people. They beat our people. Our people used to carry their loads everywhere. No political representation whatsoever. And Patrick is telling me we have Romeo Kuya and they said the no book. Sonny Boy Noah over there, convoluted. A vicissitude. You're speaking all the big words. But then you go celebrate the legacy of the people that oppressed your forefathers. Go grab Mr. Kai Wler's book, Liberty Hijacked, and read about what the people did to our people in that place. But then you celebrate the history of those people. Kai Wler cataloged the history of those people. But no, Patrick say, you know what? I love oppression. Romeo Kuya say, I love oppression. Sonny Boy Noah say, I love oppression. So they go celebrate the people's legacy. Patrick, we are thinking wrong. Our thinking is horrible. We need to think for ourselves. How did the legacy of the American Liberian, the oppressors, the American Mississippi Colonization Society, how did they help our people? How many of our people got educated when they were there for 104 years before Patrick said 1951, before our people get the right to vote? What are we celebrating these days?
Can I ask you questions?
Go ahead, sir.
Okay. So here on this platform, you will tell us who originally owns America. You will tell us here who originally owns America.
The indigenous people, the Native Americans.
Good. Native Americans. Good. And you will tell us here, even white women, I'm not talking black men or women, but I say white women, which year did they first vote in the United States in any election? Which year was it?
Yeah, but
the President of the United States, John Adams, his wife, Abigail Adams, wrote in her memoir when they first voted, when she voted without the right to vote. Did you read her trial? Did you read about her trial? Why did it happen that way? And how many years it also took for a black man to become a president of the United States? And where are the indigenous Americans today? The people who own America, where are they? Are they here? Are they living in cities or are they in reservations? And what has happened in America? Has it changed America to the negative?
So, Patrick, you are using a bad example to support another bad example. So it's not a good argument because America did some wrong things in the past. So the people from here who are crying from oppression, they went over there and repeated the same thing. And Patrick is asking me the same thing. And when women get a right to vote, it's not a good argument, Patrick. That is a terrible example to reference. You use good example to back your argument. You don't use bad example to back your argument. No. So you are proving my point. You can't reference another oppression to argue against my position. No. You're making matter worse for yourself. The fact that American people oppress the natives here, they suppress women here, they suppress black here. It doesn't follow that you should do it in Liberia, or those that ran away from the oppression here should do to replicate that same thing in Liberia. And you guys are celebrating it. So that's what Carter Wilson said, you know, the miseducation of the Negro. That's it right there. Because you celebrate that which you should not celebrate. Those things are supposed to be in a museum so that we can teach our children so that they don't repeat those same things. But our educated people, the patriot of their word, they will use their knowledge of reading history, and instead of interpreting history for the children to not repeat it, they interpret for the people to celebrate it. Patrick, you can't interpret history that way, especially when the history is bad for you, for your ancestor, for yourself. Patrick, get right now. Our elders and the ancestors, they were in their graves crying when Romeo Quia and Sonny Boy Noah, they were celebrating Mississippi Day. They were crying because the whip latches that they received, the beating, all the things that they received, that while you guys were dancing, that day should be a solemn day where you reflect on what your people did, not to celebrate and drink and dance. We should select another day, Patrick, for ourselves. We shouldn't celebrate the colonizer history. Patrick, no. We have to select our own heroes and heroines right now. But Patrick, I don't know, man. I have to come to Liberia to teach thinking 101 to our children. But no, I can't come there because Patrick, they were high up beginner to come for me. You know, I just joking on that one. But go ahead, Patrick. Let's call it your day, man. I always like you, George, talking to you and getting your perspective on it.
Yes, thank you so much. I know. Thank you for disagreeing, and thank you for your stance. I think it's a part of the broader art of patriotism, and but we will always recognize the bad side and good side of history. And in fact, when we combine the bad side and good side of history, we write a very unique history. And that's why today, nations rise and nations fall. But our own fall as a nation, has not taken away our dignity as a people. So thanks to all those that turned out for the July 9 program, thanks to the leaders that made themselves available, thanks to the citizens, the people. The only thing I will advise next year, July 9, and going forward, no Sinoe citizen who is an indigenous of Sinoe, no Sinoe citizen, in fact, let me say it this way, no Sinoe citizen should go back home and go sleep in a guest house or in a local hotel. No, that was the most shameful part. That was the most upbraiding aspect of the whole celebration. No celebration should ever go home again to stop in a guest house. Those that we take with us, our friends that we invite from other counties, are the ones that should be stopping in guest houses. But even if we get our own homes, our friends should not stop in guest houses. We should stop right in our homes. So I want to say thanks to you, CEO, for always coming. It was challenging for me to come on today. I was a bit late, 20 minutes late. I want to apologize to all of you. Those who show concern when I was not around. I want to say thanks so much for your care, for your concern, and for your love for the platform and for all of us. We'll be back next Saturday on the 18th of July, 2026 with another brand new edition. If you want to get on our platform, you can reach out to us through the CEO or through me or any of our members, and we can have you. We can give you the time to also talk about Liberia, talk about America, talk about Europe, talk about Sinoe, and talk about ourselves.
Patrick, thank you, man. Enjoy chatting with you. Comparing perspectives, how wrong you are. I like that. I like to be on the right side of history. And that's why the elders and the ancestors they recommended me to be their spokesperson. So yes, we'll talk again next week. Saturday, we'll be here to have another conversation. We'll be looking for guests, like Patrick actually put it. If you want to be a guest for this on this show, inbox Patrick, Perkins, Shelly. We are all over the internet. All right. I want to say thank you so much. And don't forget, man, our convention is coming up. I'm told that the Minnesotans, they are having a full sale, I think, today. And, make sure you go and, it's not that you want to eat, but just to support our campaign, right? So, yeah, our convention is coming up next month. Dark Side Put will be in Minnesota. If you want to meet with me, start making arrangement right now, so that you can have a special conversation with me and to get a wisdom from the spokesperson of the elders and the ancestors. I will be there with my wife and to support our community and do that which we can do for Liberia, Sinoe County. All right. Our guest speaker will be John Talley. John Talley will be there to give a brilliant message for us. He wants to run for president as well, 2029, So, hey, Patrick, if you want to leave, that's fine. Totally fine. You don't have to wait. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, just making some announcement. Yeah, come and meet our leaders. Yeah, the previous, the current, so you can meet all of them. They'll be there. And we are raising funds for a hospital project in Sinoe County. Pelican, to be specific, 13-room medical facility. President Meyer started the foundation, and she ran away from us. She didn't finish it, even though she told us she was going to finish it. She did not finish it. So Mr. Mannen, Ben, the vice president, he said, you know what? I will not make my former president shame. I will make sure and finish the project. And I'm with you guys. The father, Mr. Manamaya, failed to complete our project. It doesn't mean that we cannot finish it. We still have to complete it. And that's why they say leadership is continuity, right? We got to continue with that, all right? When the other leader failed, we put another one there, we support the person. And we make sure that the person does the right thing. They don't replicate old policy, And so far, so good, Mr. Mannen is deviating from the field policy of Manamaios. He's not following that. He is making phone calls and talking to everybody, whether you criticizing or not. And our previous leader, then when you criticize and it's vexed. No, Mr. Mannen is not like that. And that's why I like Kari Jabili as well. She can take criticism constructive, She can, even my man Green Gidio, the man will criticize, we bash the man here, even though it was justified. But Green still talks to you, Green will pop out here and there. So my man, he jokes around. That's what leaders do. But we got one bad leader in our community. She can't even talk to her right now after we elected her twice. We celebrated her. We carry her everywhere. Now she can't talk to her. Some men will say, Opo Kwene, only by you one, Jelenia, only by one, and no place. You're tidy alley.
Orale, we say convention we say meeting we say taxes, we say they pay we answer the British already. We say there no. Monday that's oh, that's how you put it. What you say? We say there are poor we celebrated you. We did everything for you. From the chapter level, we elevated you to the national level. You from power now, you can't talk to us again. Bari a chen. Moi c'est a clever la player fano. Moi c'est a fano play. Me andale sa here pour like. Did I play me amun sa o. Mo did also mo abli nyom play dera. Mo nyon nu de so na atari ele yo. De atari dere pie nyon nu de so eh. They are in se alo ulo eh. There are no nyinidri. The bad thing. You can't do that which is wrong and we celebrate you. No, that's how you put this esoteric. I will tell you the truth. Truth can make your eyes red. It will make you vex, but it will not kill you. That's the good thing about it. I will just tell you the truth. When you want to repent, that's fine. If you don't want to repent, you want to remain in your sins, you want to remain in your iniquities, so be it. But that which I'm saying is the right thing. People cannot serve you, and then you abandon them later after you shall have left power. And you don't want the spokesperson to talk. That's how the thing the elders can be telling me, the ancestors. That's how you put it. Those that denied the people after the people celebrated and they served them, tell them the truth. And Francis Clark Myers is one of those people. Oh, body I change. They are new. And then I knew pleasure to me on body I change. Me on them for pleasure one. Some people can be shy to speak their own language. They say they hear America. Okay, you speak your English, your foreign language, that's your business. I'll speak my original language. That's my original language. Yeah. So what is he talking? You lost if you don't know your own language. You are a lost human being. You are not who you're supposed to be. Your language is what makes you. It's one of the things. You got a lot of things that kind of make you, but your language is one of, because that's the vehicle of communication. Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget. We want to say thanks to those that are following us saying, oh, says Mary, how you doing? We'll be in Minnesota. We'll see you. Hey, Shelly, how you doing? Hopefully, we'll talk later beyond the scene. I saw your communication. We want to say thanks for joining. Jackson, how you doing? Hopefully, you guys will be at the convention, man. You got to come. Nobody can stay beyond. Yes. Nobody should stay beyond. I'll be there in Minnesota. We have not seen each other for years. You know, we had to take that, that Abadeshi. Got to take Abadeshi shot now. And those of you from Ghana, you know what Abadeshi is. Hey, Stephen Sly, how you doing? Samuel, Mr. J, how you doing? That's Christian Tpabo, how you doing? Thanks to my wife for following us always. And all of you that follow the show. I can't see everybody, but I want to say thank you. And that's how we're doing it for the day. Our special guest was the city mayor of Moorhead, Minnesota today. And we'll be back again with another guest. That's how we do it. Yes. Our Ayatollah and they were celebrating Mississippi Day. No, you don't know the Sabo Ayatollah. Let me show you that man, Sabo Ayatollah. That's what I'm about. You go in your house and say, convolute, vicissitude. Disdain. I can recite the male vocabulary then when they go celebrate Mississippi Day. Mississippi, what they call it? Mississippi Colonization Society. Colonizers. That the day the people celebrating. And they don't want me to say this thing. How can you celebrate the day of your oppressors? Why? You can't select a day that you can celebrate that is good for your people, that is good for you. The Mississippi Colonization Society who coming. And they drove from Monrovia, and your people are wallowing in poverty. But you're celebrating Mississippi Day. The people, they play ratting. Your senator said the play is a failed county, dead county. That's what, not Milton, but Duncan, the man who running for president right now, what he told us. Dead county, but you're going there, you're celebrating. People, children are suffering. The mothers and fathers, no medication, no hospital, nothing. But you're celebrating Mississippi Day. What is wrong with you guys? What kind of bugs you say you learn? But you don't celebrate the legacy, the ancestors, the people that fought for your liberation. You don't celebrate those people, but you're celebrating Mississippi Day. Mississippi. Listen, colonization society. If you are not read, liberty, hijacked by Kaiwule, get you a copy and see what they did to our people in that place that you are celebrating Mississippi Day. Sonny boy know out there, he doesn't know himself, right? Wearing Arab men clothes. When last time you saw Arab men dressing like you don't even know yourself. And that these are the wrong people we get in power. They confuse our young people. You wear sunglasses in the Capitol building, you dress a foreigner. Even though you say you're the owner of the land, you are not proud of your own attire, your own outfit. You have to wear somebody from the Middle East. You put all that weird thing there around yourself. Your people are suffering in Sinoe County, and you're celebrating Mississippi Day. Why? Why should you celebrate such a day? And our superintendent too, he joined up people. I just like when I was educated. But you know, education is not necessarily going out classroom and getting degrees. No. Education is what left after you shall have forgotten everything that you have learned in school. And that's why our people, some of them, they think they're having all these BB words and knowing the Western concept, that education. But being educated is not celebrating the history of your oppressors. Mississippi Day in Sinoe County. And Patrick just told me 104 years. Our people never had the right to vote, but the people celebrating it. What are you celebrating? What? And Ayatollah was there. Ayatollah Sonny Boy Noah. And me, that's how you put the esoteric. 2029. This foreigner, this man who dresses like Arab man, who wears sunglasses in the Capitol building will be replaced. I'm convicted. I'm convinced that Sonny Boy Noah is terrible for my district. Creighton Donkey is terrible for my county. Romeo Kuya is terrible for my county. And those people will be replaced. All of them. There will be history. There will be history. You know, Creighton Donkey is running for president because he still got some time left. That's why he's doing that, because he knows when he does not win, he was to remain senator. He got some money, so lose money to spend because he's not going to get maybe 1% of the votes. No. Ain't nobody going to vote for Creighton Donkey, who told us that the county he has been leading as a representative is a dead county. That the man you want to support? The man is leading you right now, and he's telling you where he is leading is dead. Totally dead. That's what he said. And the man you want to support? That the Creighton Donkey man you want to support? It's up to you. When the man can kill his county, what do you think you will do to Liberia? What do you think you will do? Thomas Aquinas told you that the past is the key to the present. The man killed the player that he is serving right now. Totally dead. And he said he wants to be president. Vote for Creighton Donkey, you will see what will happen to you. You will live in your dead country, totally dead country. When a man can kill his county, you'll kill the whole place. The wrong leaders we get in this place, and when people are suffering, you see, how our people are suffering, and the people are driving fancy car in the mud. You're like, what is wrong with these people? And Creighton Donkey, they blaming white people. Oh, that white people, I didn't want to take your resources. I was like, that white man said you might build a road. And said 1847, you can't put quota on your road. That white man doing it. You blaming people. That's scapegoatism. You put blame on other people. You don't want to take responsibility for your own fault. Other people then you're celebrating that play, you go Mississippi Day. And the young people then say they are enlightened, that we are the vanguard, we are this one. I say, no, you are still in the darkness. Because when you are celebrating the oppressor day, Mississippi Day, colonization society in Africa, these people, they never carried the American Liberians over there because they loved them. No, they never wanted them here. And that's what they talk them over there. They say, oh, these people, they were multiplying. And they had the different word miscegenation, you know, that miscegenation. No, I think, yeah. I can't remember the word. Yeah, I can't remember. But one of those words where they say, yeah, miscegenation, I think that the word where they don't want the races to mix because they say black people, when they emancipated them, the Emancipation Proclamation, they don't want the people were reproducing, so they don't want, so they say, let's take the people then from here and we carry them over there. Then they were those people were still puppets.
And that's why your whole country looks at that, because they complain about oppression here. Then they carry them to Liberia or wherever they wanted to go. Then they set up the government, they replicated the same oppressive system. They set it over there. And they say, you know what? Send the people oppressor in America who will do the same thing to the indigenous people. Then for 133 years, our people are living hell in their own country. And then the guys turn around, the ones that are educated now, the Sonny boy know how, then they say I know both, the Romeo Queer, then they say they call it professor, they say we're going to celebrate Mississippi Day, the oppression day. Then no one, then say no one, then no more nine. I see the people dancing. I say, wow. Until we are mentally liberated, we'll continue to be physically not liberated, or will be in chains physically. Like Rousseau would say, man was born free, but everywhere he is in chains. Because the liberation starts on your mind, your thinking. And that's what the philosopher René Descartes, cogito ergo sum, I think, therefore I am. The way you think, that how you are today, because you are still celebrating the day of your oppressors. And why Liberia is like that? You don't celebrate yourself. I don't want to see the Hayatola. Let me tell the man from the screen before I get verse more here. That's when the boy Noah continue to dress the Arab people. Man, I even know himself. And then the other man who knows book, he writing on Facebook who they tear all the different articles. And the people in the country, they are living in hell. They're calling, telling us the country is totally dead. Okay, what kind of book do people know now? When your country is totally dead, no car rolls, and somebody knows buying cars for people to go to school. The people will throw the car on their head to go to school when people don't have car rolls. The student, when they're ready to go to school, instead of the car carrying them to school, the children got to throw the car on their head because no roads. So the guys do the opposite. One of the lawmakers the other day, a car got stuck on a wrecked bridge, a brand new 2026 or 2027 car. I know that Snow or one of those guys. That's how bad thinking our people are. They celebrate the wrong thing, they do all the wrong, everything is just the antithesis, the opposite. That's what they do. Why we can celebrate the day Master Sergeant Samuel Kanye liberated our people from oppression? Why you can't do that? Why? What is wrong with that? Why you gotta go celebrate Mississippi Day? Why? Why? Why we can't celebrate those chiefs, the elders that fought the colonizers? Why we can't have a day for them? What would be wrong with that? The gallant men and women, the ancestors, the people before us that protected their land. Why we can't celebrate them? We're celebrating Mississippi Society, colonization society. That is terrible. I saw the people dancing. I was like, what? Yes. It's bad for us. It's terrible. It is terrible. Yes. When the people think when they get book, they get little degree and then they on top of thing, but okay, you know all the book. And your people are living since you are about to be 179 years as independent country. You have a country less than 6 million people, or if you run it, or 6 million people. They have been living in hell. When those so-called colonizers came, when they were celebrating them, the population of Liberia was less than 3 million people. They kept the people in bondage. And the population, it can't even reach 7 million people. They're still in poverty. A lot of the people, majority are still illiterate. They are not formally educated. But we're celebrating Mississippi Day. The people are sleeping in darkness in 2026. They're celebrating Mississippi Day. The people are working barefoot in 2026. The people are celebrating Mississippi Day. Our people are still drinking from the creeks, dirty creeks. The people are celebrating Mississippi Colonization Society Day. When you go to the hospital, they say, go buy your own medication.
our people are celebrating Mississippi Day. What? You have to go call your family in the U.S. to get food money. They're celebrating Mississippi Day. No jobs in the country. They're celebrating Mississippi Day. Liberia, Sinoe County. I'm glad that the elders and the ancestors have instructed me. You know, the reason I don't talk about relic like cheer them too much, because again, they are relic of history. They are thinking that why a lot of times I bash Sonny Boy Noah, he is relatively young. But all the oppressive thing that the people did, that's why he's repeating. The same thing yesterday when we were campaigning for people, we and Sonny Boy were in the same chat room. Sonny Boy Noah joined the thing and he joined everything and he forget all the people there. He fooled the people, the same thing the people did before him. They fool our people. They take all zinc. In the age, when you come to America, you don't see no zinc on top of any house because those things are harmful. Nobody uses zinc nowadays, but they go buy the thing, they spread cancer all over the place. And they say, oh, there's something for our people. You get people zinc. You come from Morovia, you carry phone battery for people. The people cannot afford their own to buy battery for their cell phone. And Sonny Boy Noah will carry it, but that's a good thing he's doing. He's not finding a way to empower the people. All he did is to wear all the fancy Arab clothes. That's all he wants to do. That's what he wants to do. Well, go to all the Gucci store, the Red Band store, and wear Red Band in the Capitol building. That's what they do. I was telling somebody, the Liberian man thing is so strange. Our lawmakers, when we were beginning, when we were young, when we used to go to school, or we used to think about clothes. Now, what kind of clothes I wear? How my uniform will look tomorrow? People as leaders, they stay thinking that way. When our guys go to work, all they do, they place their clothes whole day. When they go in the committee room, they're looking at each other outfit. What kind of outfit you wear tomorrow? And their people are suffering. And all they do is about what kind of African suit, the latest African suit, the latest European suit, the latest Arab suit, that's what they think about. Meanwhile, when they get on the street, the little kids that are supposed to be in school, they buy your collar here, they're throwing boxes all over the place. They buy your cannon here. And those things don't bother those guys. Sonny Boy Noah will need a tinted glasses car. That's it now. They're oppressing their own people. But that is not a problem for them. They go celebrate. I'm out, guys. Let me call it your day. So that's how you put there is here. We're going to take all the people then from there. They're not good for our people. But that being said, I want to say thank you so much for joining us today. We'll be back next Saturday on the show, so we can have a conversation. I have an outline or thing that we want to talk about. I mean, I'm even thinking now to be challenging what they call conventional wisdom, things that people celebrate. For example, I hear people saying things that, what doesn't kill you make you stronger? Which is from Friedrich Nietzsche, that philosopher. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So we can challenge some of these things so that our children will think again about it. When something does not kill you, it does not kill you, it makes you stronger. Okay. So if you are in an accident and your eyeball bursts, you become quadriplegic, does that make you stronger? No. So we got to challenge some of these things. A lot of things that people say wrong. What God cannot do does not exist. Stop like that. I'm like, is that a good thing to say? What God cannot do does not exist. All right, those kind of thing that will be challenging some of the conventional sayings. My co-host Shelly myself again, she will come on the show and say, what God cannot do does not exist. That is not a good man or woman. Anyway, that man. Because they said when they pray and say, "Oh Father, which are in heaven," they say, "Oh Mother, who are in heaven." The man is the only father that does not have a wife, and that's why he got a bunch of men around them. So maybe the man, the God on the other end, Jesus never had no woman. I mean, no, Jesus probably he got Judah, because if you read the Gnostic Gospel, for example, the man, all the scenes, the people don't want to read the other books, they got a big book for the apocryphal, that fake book then. But they took the other one, King James, who they call James Stewart. That man who overthrew his own mother to become king. The man he was on the other side of the river. The man crossing the street, that the man Bible. And what they say, oh, that the good, that the water go. Some of those things we got to be challenging them. But guys, I'm out for the day. I want to say thank you so much. I want to say thanks to our guest, Madam Carlson, for coming on today to talk to us. And you're about to start talking towers. yeah, because you can make me vest. Yo, get it. You're so educated, but you don't want to at least challenge some conventional thoughts. These things that we were taught, when you're in school, you don't take time to, because you don't want to pass and get your people. So after you finish now, why you rethink these things? After all, those things now from your elders and your ancestors, even your elders give it to you. Think about them too. Now why we get a brain to think? But we just say, oh, I can't challenge anything. I can't think about it. That how he has been saying, Joseph Junior Rao, this so it should be the way. And now what the people, the Westerners are doing better than us. Because they're not saying that how it was in 19 so we should just remain where people using fire. So they continue to use copper. No. They say, okay, how can we upgrade it? They come to gas store, they leave gas store, they go to electric store, right now, like laser store, they go in different things. It's thinking, but we don't want to. So anybody know them wearing our man clothes. That can be relevant in the Capitol building. All right, guys, I want to say thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you next Thursday. Enjoy the rest of the day, and we will talk to you again. And those are in Minnesota, get ready for me. In August, I will be there so that we can talk.
From a humble beginning to a wider stage, hands built the future, page after page. We honor the roots, we answer the call, with dignity speaking, we rise for all. Hear that calm in the room, feel that steady light. We speak with one voice, we stand upright. Voice of Sinoe in the diaspora. Voice of Sinoe in the diaspora. Warm, strong, and sure, we carry it far. Hosted by dark Sayopore esoteric. Hosted by dark Sayopore esoteric. Open the door. Let the message arrive. Across every border, across every sea, a name, a calling, a legacy. So listen closely, the tone stays gold, a trusted voice, bold, clear and bold. Voice of Sinoe in the diaspora. Voice of Sinoe in the diaspora. Warm, strong, and sure, we carry it far. Hosted by